I'm not really into motifs, but I sure do love a scavenger hunt, and this new Disney Dreamlight Valley event certainly hits the mark. Hi, I'm Shalia, and today I'm going to walk you through the entire Picture Pursuit event and show you how to collect all of the new motifs and get this new photo frame in camera mode. Let's get started. The Picture Pursuit event is going on now until July 28th, 2026, and as of this video, which you will see on either July 19th or July 20th, depending on when I get it done, you will have 8 or 9 days to complete this event. You do need a full 7 days to complete it. Now, you must also have Merlin, Mickey, Buzz, Alice, Peter Pan, and Cinderella unlocked to collect all 7 of the motifs that this event has to offer. Now, if you don't want to collect all of them, but you do want the photo frame, you will need to have at least 5 of the above mentioned villagers unlocked to complete the new Duty Complete Picture Pursuit quest. Once you complete 5 quests, you will receive this awesome photo frame and you will have collected 5 of the 7 motifs. Now, I have all of the villagers unlocked, so I cannot tell you if your villagers will repeat quests so you can collect all 7 motifs, but I'm going to assume they will since it worked like that in previous events. I don't want to promise you that's how it's going to work, but I know it has worked like that in previous events. Each day, one of the 7 villagers will have you do a scavenger hunt to find motifs hidden in different areas of the valley, and then you'll need to take a picture of them for proof that you found them. Now, since I have completed 5 of the 7 quests so far, I can tell you that you will have to find 4 of the same motif during each quest, and they are much easier to find than you think. Although I did spend way too much time in the castle and in Alice's realm than I'd like to admit. And that is why I put this tutorial together for you. So you won't have as much trouble or spend as much time looking for these motifs like I did. So I hope you find this helpful. Now, to find out which villager has a quest for you that day, just go into your event tab and click on quests under the Picture Pursuit event. The villager with the request that day will have a pink-purple background while all the others will remain blue. Now, my villager quest may not be in the same order as yours, and if you don't have all 7 villagers unlocked, that will definitely change your quests as well. So keep that in mind. Now, once you know which villager has a quest for you that day, you're just going to go find them and interact with them. My first villager quest was Merlin, and that seems like a common theme across the board that everybody gets Merlin first. But then after that, everyone will be random, and Merlin will have you search the Dream Castle for a walrus. If you don't know what this thing looks like, when you get to the castle or wherever you're going to find a motif, once you see them, you will know, trust me. Now in the castle, again, we will be looking for 4 walrus motifs, and all 4 will all be the same motif. So once you find your first one, this is how you're going to know what you're looking for because they're all going to be the same. The first one I found was over by Mickey's secret room on the right side on the first floor. When I took this picture, I got credit for 2. My plan was to go up and walk through the castle on that same side to try to find where the other motif was that my camera captured. But on my way to find that second motif, I found the other one near the entrance on the left side of the pillar. I don't know how I missed that when I walked in, but I did. I quickly took a picture and then I traveled up that right side because I needed to find that mysterious second one. When I got to the top, the very top floor, I found it on the pillar at the top of the stairway. So now we have found 3 motifs and we just need to find 1 more. This one was a little more difficult for me, and the way I found it was I went back down to the bottom floor, and that is after searching every nook and cranny in the castle. Trust me, I looked everywhere. And then when I got to the bottom, I panned my camera up and there it was above the entrance to like the expansion world on the left side. You can just take your picture from here, and once you do, you will have found all 4 motifs, and then you can head on back to Merlin to complete the quest. Now, once you find him and talk to him, he will give you a new motif to use when customizing your clothing or furniture. In this case, he gives us the walrus, and here is what it looks like. Like I said earlier, I'm really not into the motifs, but the hunt is very fun and sometimes, in my case, quite challenging. So I am really enjoying this event. Now, on my second day of this event, Alice had a new quest for me. She wanted me to go back into her realm and find 4 motifs of Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Oh, how I dreaded this one. I mean, going back through that maze and getting lost, I had created a little map, but I don't know what I did with it. and so I don't have my little map to follow. This was absolutely going to be a daunting task. But do not worry, I did do all the work for you, so you do not have to suffer through the maze. I made it so much harder on myself than it needed to be, and I'm going to walk you through exactly where they all are, so you don't have to waste all that time. The first two motifs are going to be right as you enter the realm. The first one I saw was on the right side above the pond by the waterfall. Now don't forget to get a picture because they don't count if you don't get a snap of them. The second one is on the left side of the entrance right behind the cooking station on the rocks. Our last two are actually in the same area. There are actually none in the maze, and we will not find any in the Queen's Garden, thank God. But you will need to go through the maze to get there. When you get to the entrance of the maze, you're going to go right. You're going to follow it until you reach a dead end and then go left. Just go straight from there until you reach the entrance to the Queen's Garden. Now you're going to head down the path to the garden. As you start going down the first hill, just look up and you will find the first motif in this area. Once you get that picture, you're going to keep heading down the path towards the garden entrance, and you will find the second motif in this area. It is right above the portal, the entrance to the garden. And once you get that picture, you are now done with Alice's quest, and you just need to head on back to the valley and find her. And once you find her, finish out the quest, and she will give you the Tweedledee and Tweedledum motif, which I do think is kind of cute. Again, not for me, but it is cute. On my third day, I received a quest from Buzz. Buzz asked me to go back into the Toy Story realm and search for 4 motifs of ham. I found my first ham on the top of the bookshelf to my right as soon as I entered the room. So I headed up to the wicker chest at the foot of the bed to get a better picture. And once I got that picture, I turned around and found my second ham motif right above the head of the bed. So I took that picture and then I headed down to the floor via the slide. Once I got to the bottom of the slide, I turned right to head back towards the right side of the bed, and I found my third motif of ham right on the side of the small bookcase on the floor. Once I got what I needed there, I headed over to the left of the bed and found my fourth and last motif on the divider in the closet. So now that you have all 4 motif pictures, you can head on back to the valley and find Buzz to finish out this quest. Now, if you use fast travel to get to the realm, when you leave, you should be right where you were before you entered the realm. In my case, I'm right back at Buzz's trailer, and he is still hanging out inside. Once you talk to him, he will then give you your next motif. Of course, it's ham. This one is really cute. I really like this one. All right, moving on to day 4. I received my next quest from Mickey. I also found Mickey at his house when I talked to him. He asked me to also find 4 motifs in his house and Goofy's house. Now, this one's really pretty easy. And my houses are right next door, so that makes it even easier for me. Now, there are going to be 2 in Mickey's house and 2 in Goofy's house. I found my first Pete motif on the side of Mickey's fridge. Again, just take a picture and continue around the room to find the second Pete motif. I found this one on Mickey's bedspread. Very easy. That is all for Mickey's house. Now we're going to head over to Goofy's. And in here, you'll find your first one on a pillow on his couch. And I never noticed the silhouettes of Mickey and Minnie on his pillows before. How about you? So now we just have to take a picture of the pillow with Pete on it. And once you have that taken, you're just going to head over to Goofy's bed and you'll find the fourth and last Pete motif on his bedspread. You're going to capture that quick and then head on back to Mickey's house. He was still there for me, so I didn't have to go searching for him. So you're just going to talk to Mickey to complete the quest and he will give you your next motif. Of course, it's a motif of Pete. And by the way, did you know that when Pete was originally drawn, he was drawn with a peg leg? His name was actually Peg Leg Pete when he was created, and over time, they started drawing him with an actual leg and he became just Pete. I thought that was interesting. Anyway, let's go on to day 5. And this is actually my last quest that I've completed so far. And it came to me from Cinderella. She refused to be found in my valley, even though she was supposedly home. The way I found her was I traveled to my expansion, A Rift in Time, and I pulled her into the map from there. This process never works for me in my main valley for some reason because it's supposed to. In my experience, I found that heading to the A Rift in Time expansion is the best way for me to pull villagers in when the map function in the main valley doesn't work. If you ever have a problem finding your villagers and you have an expansion, try that and let me know if it works better for you too. I don't know, that map functionality just never works in my valley for some reason. And once you do find Cinderella, which of course I found her by pulling her into a rift in time, we're going to head over to the Vitali's mines, and she wants us to find 4 more motifs. I got my 4 with only taking 2 pictures. So let me go through this. When you enter the mines, just turn left as if you are going to go through the mine shafts. Right when you go into that first section, you will see a Gus motif on the side of the top crate. You're going to grab a picture of him and then continue right into the mine shafts. You're not going to go the whole way in, just right there when you turn the corner. You will see another set of crates to your right. Here you will find another Gus motif. Make sure you stand and take the picture exactly like I did, because if you do, you will capture 2 other motifs that you cannot see, but the camera can, which means you will have taken a picture of 3 motifs all at one time. Again, if you took the picture like I did, you will have collected all 4 motifs now, and you can now return to Cinderella and finish out her quest. But before I finish that out, let me show you where the other 2 are in case your camera doesn't capture them and you still have to go take a picture of them. So you're going to want to go all the way out of the mine, and just before you get to the front, you're going to look over to your right and you'll see a ramp to take you up to the small area by the waterfall. You can also get here from the front of the mine as well if you don't want to navigate through this whole mine. But if you come in from that way, it's going to be on the right side of the entrance. And then if you do come in from the front of the mine, you'll also see Gus on a crate to your right as you are headed towards the waterfall. Otherwise, if you went through the whole mine and you're coming out, that crate that I just mentioned is going to be on your left side after you come down from the waterfall. You just look for the crate on the left-hand side as you're exiting. And that's pretty much it. Once you've taken photos of all 4 Gus motifs, you're just going to talk to Cinderella. And I did bring her with me this time since she gave me such a hard time finding her. But she will now reward you with a new Gus motif. And now that we've completed all 5 quests for our duty, we will now be rewarded with the new photo frame for our camera. To get this, you will have to go in and complete your duty. You just click on it and claim it, and that's how you get it. Of course, since there are 7 villagers and 7 motifs, you will need to keep going with the quest until you collect them all if you want to fully complete this event. If you just went into it wanting the frame, you're done. You already got it. I still have Moana's quest to complete and Peter Pan's quest to complete. And if you look at the trailer as soon as we log into our game, you will see that we will return to Moana's realm to find some more motifs hidden. This one shouldn't be too hard since her realm isn't very big. So thank God for that, right? Now, Peter Pan's quest is going to take us back into Skull Rock, which I'm really excited about that. And if you want to know where all of those motifs can be found, just check out Serroh's video. I put a link down in the description for you for that video. Since I haven't gotten his quest yet, I cannot help you with this one, but thankfully Serroh did. So what do you all think about this little event so far? I really like it a lot. I don't love motifs, as I've said multiple times in this video, but I really like searching for them. I also love that there's only one small quest to do a day, so the event isn't overbearing and doesn't take too much time away from doing other things that you need to get done, like whether it's in game or in real life. And honestly, I'm really liking this frame. What do you think? Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you feel moved to do so. But most of all, like I always say, don't forget to be kind. And until next time, everyone, bye!